Hey, it's me. You probably know me from my other videos where I talk about all sorts of things related to space. But this time I'm doing something a little different. And that seems like a pretty good question for a video. Well, the most famous person associated with gravity is probably Sir Isaac Newton. He was the first to really describe how gravity works with his law of universal gravitation. Basically, this law says that every object in the universe attracts every other object with a force that depends on the masses of the objects and the distance between them. Spacetime is just a fancy name for the fourth dimension. Well, according to Einstein, spacetime tells you how to move. If you're in a place where spacetime is curved, you don't get to choose how you move. You'll just move along the curve, so if you're near the Earth, you don't get to choose how you move. You'll just follow the curve of spacetime, which just happens to be directed towards the center of the Earth. So you fall, it's really just X, Y, and Z, the three dimensions of space plus time. So the fourth dimension means that in order to specify any event in spacetime, you need for numbers 3 to specify the location in space and 1 to specify the time. Or put another way, it asks the resistance you feel when you try to move through spacetime that has been curved by a massive object like the Earth. So that's why it's called the four-dimensional spacetime. The further away the objects are, the weaker the force of gravity between them, so here goes. Well, yes, it is just a mathematical construct, but that doesn't mean it can't be curved. After all, we only use X, Y, and Z to describe space, but that doesn't mean that the room that you're in can't be curved. It just means that the curvature happens to be in another dimension, one that we can't see. I'm part of an online school and we've been asked by one of our students, what is gravity? What is gravity? We all experience it every day, but what actually is it? Also remember to subscribe if you haven't already because we release new videos every week. Okay, so that's what gravity is, right? Well, not exactly, that's just how gravity works. It doesn't really explain what gravity is. Sir Isaac Newton was actually really happy with this. He was a very devout Christian and he believed that the universe was created by God. And since God is perfect, anything that God created had to be perfect as well, including the laws of nature. So if you can figure out how the universe works, then you must have discovered the will of God. So for him, figuring out how gravity worked was basically the same thing as figuring out how God made the universe work, which was good enough for him. But we're not so easily satisfied. We want to know more. So for us, the question isn't how does gravity work? The question is, what is gravity? To answer that, we need to think about what happens when you fall. When you fall, you feel a force pulling you towards the ground. We call that your weight. Your weight is actually the force that the Earth is exerting on your body. And according to Newton's third law of motion, forces always come in pairs. So the force that the Earth exerts on you is equal in strength and opposite in direction to the force that you exert on the Earth. So your weight is the force that the Earth exerts on you, but what causes that force? Well, according to Einstein, it's the curvature of spacetime. So what does spacetime have to do with gravity? Wait a minute though. Isn't spacetime just a mathematical construct? How could it possibly be curved? Okay, so that explains how gravity works, but what is gravity? Well, it's the force you feel when you accelerate through spacetime. I hope that answered the question. If not, let me know in the comments below. If you love this, smash that like button, subscribe, and tell me what science topic you want next. See you soon.